everybody. This is Positive Phil presenting for Positive Stocks. Great show today. You know I have that silver bug, and so does Paul Andriola from Netco Silver. Take a look. There he is, Director of Business Development at Netco Silver, British Columbia, Canada. You know, that gold rush, that silver rush, it's still here. It's here to stay, and he talks about bits and pieces of his company. Enjoy.
Hey, Phil.
Hey, Paul. I like your haircut.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, it's cheap on shampoo. I love it.
I agree.
Oh, it's nice to meet you here on the Skype. So thank you for coming on the show. I just wanted to ask you a few questions, talk to you, put your face behind Netco Silver, and just talk to my audience. Tell them how you got into this industry, a little bit about why you have this thing called the silver bug. I saw it on your...
Yeah, silver bug. You know what? Actually, what happened, I've been in the investment business probably for about close to 25 years. And from time to time, what I do is, well, I spend a lot of time researching different markets. And a good 4 or 5 years ago, you know, in researching several different metals, I came upon some reports with silver that indicated to me that we were probably a good 5-6 years away from some serious silver shortages. So it drove me to look a lot deeper into the market, which I did. Felt very comfortable that we were on a path of higher silver prices, and that got me to where I am today, helping to run a small silver exploration company as well as a pretty serious silver investor.
Okay, so is that all that you target is silver, or are there other precious metals?
Well, typically silver comes with other precious metals or other metals, period. You know, copper, zinc, lead. Silver is actually a byproduct of a lot of zinc and lead deposits. And in our case, our project has a high degree of copper along with the silver, as well as some gold.
Okay. Well, you know, I stick my hands in, you know, ventures and funds that are in this particular sector, and a lot of people know you, Paul. So you have that new business development background. Where did you come from? How did you get into, I know that you were interested in silver, but how did you land at Netco Silver?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, I go back I started in the investment business as a stockbroker about 25 years ago. Through that, I helped raise funding for a lot of startup companies, a lot of mid-tier companies, and through that, ventured into the mining market as well. Okay. I actually got to the point where I left the brokerage business and got into a couple of startup technology companies and a couple of startup resource companies. Through all sort of the interactions I've had with the industry, I came across a couple of individuals that I got to know well and got to work with well. And about 2 years ago, they presented this Terrell silver project to me. And I got excited enough to join the guys and form Netco Silver.
Oh, nice. Tell us a little bit about that Terrell project.
Terrell is a project that has had a good degree of drilling done on it so far. It's a project in Argentina. It's in Rio Negro province, which is one of the mining friendlier. Hold on just one sec. I'm going to turn my phone off here. I didn't realize it was on.
Oh, that's okay. We'll edit that piece out.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, it's had a good degree of drilling done on it in the past. 4,300 meters to be sort of exact. Of that, they've discovered a very high-grade vein chute. We've had some intervals as high as close to 7 meters of 2,000 grams per ton of silver. As well as 5% copper and close to a gram per ton gold. Those type of numbers are pretty high in the industry, especially when you're dealing with a project that we're seeing the mineralization start right at surface. So in the event that we go into production with a project like this, it'd be relatively low cost, seeing that we don't have to, dig, half a mile into the ground to finally get to the deposit.
Okay. So Netco Silver, publicly traded company, precious metals company, committed to optimizing shareholder value through acquisitions, exploration, and development of pure play silver opportunities in Latin America. Tell us a little bit about this latest press release that was released. Netco and Marfil enter into purchase agreement for 100% of this property that you were talking about, correct?
Yeah, Terrell, the way we came across the project was one of our directors used to work for Marfil, and Marfil is what's called a project generator. They typically go out and stake property, do a little bit of exploration work, and then they try to find another company to sort of carry it further. Through that connection, we got to take a very good look at the Terrell project. Our geologists and our group of management were very happy with what we saw. And we entered into an option agreement whereby we could earn a 50% ownership in the property, and then that would scale up to 75% based on certain exploration milestones that we had to meet. Okay. We started negotiating with Marfil about 6 months ago after we saw some good results from our early exploration. We pushed forward some negotiations to try to get 100% of the property. That we finally concluded 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Oh, good! Congratulations.
So yeah.
Okay. So what's in store for the end of the year or for next year? Can you talk a little bit about that? What are the goals and what are the challenges for Netco Silver as any publicly traded small cap company? What are your challenges that you're facing?
The big challenges right now in the marketplace are, like most exploration companies, it's very capital intensive. We have to raise a significant amount of money to go out there and prove out the size of this deposit. We are right now actually actively going out and looking for financing to get our next drill program in place. We know we've got a good idea what the size of the property is right now, or more or less the deposit, but to really determine how big it is, we have to get out there and drill significantly further. So that's our next milestone, is raising the funds to get out to finalize this next stage of drill.
Okay. How does a small public company, for my audience, how do you build, I mean, this might be off wall, but how do you build, you just have a list of funders that are in your sector and you just start building relationships with them?
Yeah, kind of like that. Most of the management team have a history in this business. We've got contacts we've developed over years. Like I mentioned earlier, I was in the investment brokerage business. So I've got a lot of contacts in that industry. So we go back to those individuals that have sort of participated in this market before. And what we're finding as well is there's now more and more people that are becoming quite interested in silver specifically. So those are the individuals and funds and organizations that we typically go to. We present our story, and if they're interested enough, then we proceed with typical equity funding.
Okay. Yeah. So. Yeah, it's all about building relationships. That's what you have to do. So your challenges are funding right now, reaching that capital. Do you have any, I mean, why silver and not gold? Do you have the gold bug, or has that ended?
Yeah, I do have the gold bug. It's funny, usually what some people in the industry say is that silver bugs are gold bugs on steroids. The silver and gold tend to move in the same direction. When gold is going in a direction, whether it's up or down, silver tends to do the same, only multiplied by 1 or 2 times. I'm a firm believer in gold going higher, and because of that, when you take a real good look at the industry and the marketplace, you know that silver is going to go higher to certain degrees. That being said, that's more from the monetary side as to why gold's going to go higher. I looked at gold and saw, yes, there's a definite increase in investor demand and a good likelihood gold's going to go a lot higher. I took that and also looked at the industrial application for silver. And when I saw those two combined, I realized that silver's got a lot higher to go and a lot more catching up to do with gold.
Okay. So who are your investors for this company? Are they the people that understand exploration, the guys that understand small cap companies, or people that truly understand the management that you have established for your company? Who are your investors? Or basically, if you were at a gold show or silver show, a precious metal mining, exploration, road show, and a group of investors came up, what differentiates Netco Silver among the rest? I mean, can you...
Well, first and foremost, our discovery, or our deposit, while it's still relatively small in the grand scheme of things, the grade is spectacular. There's mines that are, mining silver with, 300 grams per ton average. We're talking about a sort of a 10 ounce per ton type of average. As I mentioned earlier, we've got some grades that have come back as high as 2,000. As a matter of fact, we've had some intervals as high as 7,500 grams per ton, which in the industry is, closer to the upper end of the scale. So first and foremost, we are a very high grade deposit, and we don't know the size of it. Like I said, it's considered small by industry standards right now, but that's only because we haven't drilled out the extensions of it. And easily these type of deposits can turn into 7-8 kilometer strike lengths. 30 to 50 million tons, easily, up to the 100 million tons of, or 100 million ounces of silver, which, becomes a substantial amount of silver. So, yeah, an investor's going to look at this and say, okay, it's definitely high grade, definitely open in all directions, including to depth. And in a jurisdiction, Argentina has been getting a lot of sort of negative press over the course of the last several months. But Argentina is a funny sort of country. A lot of the mining legislation is provincially directed. So if you're in the right province, you do very well. If you're in the wrong province, you do very poorly. And we're fortunate that our project is in the right province. So we've got good geology, good valuation. I mean, we're cheap when it comes to these type of grades for companies such as ours. We're cheap compared to our competitors. It's the blue sky is there, which is what most sort of exploration type investors look for.
Yeah. So silver is about to shine, and it appears it continues to rise. And I'm glad that you spent the time today to at least return my emails, and you always do, Paul. And that's what I look at for with companies that are involved with their business. So I'm glad that you took the time here just to sit down and answer a few questions and address the audience. I love that last press release about Netco buying the remaining portion of the Turrell High. So it's basically all about high grade silver for Netco Silver.
Absolutely. We want to know how big this deposit is. There's no reason why we can't find additional intervals similar to what we did, but high grade silver for a silver bug like me, when I see these type of grades, I get pretty excited.
Okay. And Netco Silver is trading on 2 exchanges? Is it Toronto and then the
Toronto Venture Exchange. We also have a sort of a sister listing on the OTC bulletin board. So we are dual listed.
Okay, and one last question. How many shareholders does Netco Silver currently have on record? Do you know that?
Yeah, I know it's in the 300 plus range.
Okay.
I don't know the exact number. That changes on a regular basis.
Okay, well, I have a lot of funders and, people within this sector that will view this, so I appreciate you spending the time, Paul. It's great to get FaceTime. Have a great end of the week. Once again, this is Paul Andriola with a company called Netco Silver. The ticker symbol is NEI that trades on the Toronto Stock Exchange. This is Positive Phil with Positive Stocks. Thank you, Paul.
Thanks, Phil.
All right. I'll see you later. I'll see you later.